talk about this is Dana Loesch, NRA commentator. Dana, I'm tired of it. They better not roll over easily on this one.
Oh, Grant, you're so optimistic because I always expect politicians to roll over on everything. That's the nature of the beast. You know, when you started out your monologue, with which I completely agree, it almost sounded like you said Democrats want to make sure that they don't win again in 2020 or pretty much in any election after that. This is so incredibly frustrating because we are so close. We have never been so close before to getting national reciprocity as we are right now. This is not an issue that I want to compromise on. This is not an issue where there should exist compromise, because when you talk about compromising on national reciprocity, Grant, what you're actually discussing is abridging the Second Amendment natural rights that we are endowed. We're endowed with these. So compromise is abridgment, and I really don't want to see any Republican fold on this. Now, like I said, and I was not really being facetious, I was being incredibly serious. I expect a lot of politicians, the moment they get any heat, particularly Republican politicians, really, with the exception of a few, the moment they experience any kind of heat, they start waffling and they start thinking, well, maybe I should phrase this a different way. No, I want equal carry now. Why should my rights matter less because Texas recognizes my right to carry as opposed to a state like New Jersey? Where's the equality in equal carry? Where's the equality in not being able to carry equally across all 50 states, Grant? It's discriminatory. It is a complete abridgment of my natural right to choose my self-defense instrument. That's what this is all about. So any member of Congress that folds really should face all hell.
Dana, you have to wonder. The power is in the GOP's hands. And it doesn't just come from the power in the White House, the Senate, and the House of Representatives, but it comes from the people. You said it. This election, the people of America gave them a mandate that we no longer want our rights infringed upon, and that goes for our God-given rights to keep and bear firearms. And so still, they are waffling on this issue as if they don't have control. We have the utmost control, right. And even more importantly, the people are behind them.
Well, exactly. Grant, does your driver's license mean any less? Does it have any less significance as far as legality in any other state in the union? No, it doesn't. So why should my concealed carry permit not be valid in other states as well? See, one of the biggest arguments against this, and I hear this incorrectly applied so often, is that, well, this is a states' rights issue. I beg to differ. This is actually a natural rights issue, and a natural right is something that is actually codified by federal law. And with the right to bear arms, this isn't something that a state can infringe upon. There are certain instances of natural rights, such as First Amendment free speech, the free practice of the press, freedom of religion, the right to bear arms, that this is not something that can be determined to be abridged by the states. This is something that we have naturally, nationally. And so any other discussion of it is simply an abridgment and affront to Second Amendment natural rights. So in that regard, to that argument that I hear from a lot of individuals who want to try to play quasi-federalist on this, they're absolutely incorrect, because this isn't a states' rights issue. This is a natural rights issue. And we need to make sure that when we're discussing this and we meet that kind of resistance, particularly from perhaps weak senators or weak members of Congress, weak members of the House that feel as though they can probably throw this argument out as a way to cover their backside. No, that's not simply going to do. It's not a states' rights issue. This is a natural rights issue. And if my driver's license is valid in all the other 49 states, then so should my concealed carry permit.
And Dana, don't forget, driving a car is a privilege, not a right. Carrying a gun is a right, not a privilege. Now, if there's one thing that we can look at here is we have senators that are up for re-election, specifically Democratic senators in states like Montana and Wisconsin and North Dakota. These are all states that you can say are either red or lean red states. They're Democratic senators there. If they think that they're going to go against the will of the people on this issue, they stand a real chance of not getting reelected.
No, and that's really how it should be. See, Grant, this is an issue where the people really need to speak. Now, I know that there are a lot of individuals out there who think, oh my gosh, we won. We won. It's over. We don't have to do anything else. Actually, no, this is when your work begins. What are you going to do with the keys that have been handed to you? Are you going to sit back on your backside and twiddle your thumbs and waste this amazing opportunity? Or are you going to put the pedal to the floor and you're actually going to enact change? Because this really, I'm going to tell you what, folks, this is the closest we will ever be, to being able to implement national reciprocity, where it concerns concealed carry or carry, period. This is the closest we will ever be. And if we squander this chance, we will have missed the boat entirely. This is when our work begins. We haven't won. Winning isn't determined until the objective is achieved. Winning isn't determined by simply getting your foot in the castle door. You have to take over the castle, and you have to change the rules and regulations in order for it to be considered a true victory. So it seems silly to me that anyone out there, Grant, would simply want to, oh, well, we won. I guess I can go back to doing whatever I was doing before. No, this is when you got to show up. And I'm going to tell you something, Grant. If this doesn't get passed, and if we don't see national reciprocity, all of the people who didn't speak up, all of the voters who didn't make their voices heard, they will be just as culpable. They will be culpable and just as guilty as those members in Congress who failed to do their due diligence, not only to the Constitution, but to the voters that put them there.
Yeah, and I think those folks will also hold those members accountable when it comes election time. Hey, Dana Loesch, as always, it is a great pleasure having you on the program. We'll see you back here tomorrow.
Thanks so much, Grant. Take care. All
right, you got it. Time is now, as Dana says, to put the pedal to the metal. It is time to go on offense on this issue. Stop fooling around with it and get to business.